Hello, Jazmin.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
You too, thank you.
We're here with Jazmin today for Beauty Fives, and we're talking about her great website that she launched. When did you launch it?
January of this year. Yeah.
Called Pretty Well Beauty.
Yes.
I love the name, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really lovely. I'm excited to introduce you to Jazmin because Jazmin has a lot of knowledge around what is sort of called the clean beauty market now.
Right.
Yeah. I think that her knowledge is quite valuable to us as consumers and people who are interested in learning more about what we should and shouldn't use on our skin. So we're gonna go straight into your 5 picks, which I think are available on your website, right?
Yeah, so everything that I'm talking about is available at prettywellbeauty.com.
It's such a pretty website, actually, and I think it's just really well put together.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted something that was really clean and easy to navigate for people, that still had a little bit of interaction, a little bit of UI elements to it. So yeah, I think I accomplished that.
You did. Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So we're very lucky to hear about all these products today that I have not even been aware of as a makeup artist. So I'm very excited to see what you're going to talk about. And number one is
a facial cleanser. It's just called the Face Wash by a brand out of California called Earth Too Face, and this actually has a lot of really important significance to me because it was the very first clean beauty brand that I ever tried.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And when was that?
This was probably about 8 years ago.
Okay, so that's roughly when you started getting invested into
That's when I first discovered it. It was before clean beauty was even a term. Nobody called it that. I was just looking for something that had minimal ingredients in it and things that I could recognize, that didn't have a bunch of scientific, chemically sounding words to it. So I liked this one. I can't remember exactly where I found it, but I was really impressed with it because it cleaned my skin really thoroughly, but it didn't strip it. It didn't feel tight and dry afterwards.
Which is a lot of the times with some of these face washes that you can get, they do feel very drying, and that's not really the right way to feel after you've washed your face. It's nice to be able to wash your face and just feel like you don't actually feel like anything's being taken away.
Right, you want it to feel balanced. You don't want it to that squeaky feeling is actually not a good thing because it means you've disturbed your skin's acid mantle, which is this very, very fine film of protection that protects your skin from external elements. And you don't want to disturb that. And so this doesn't do that. This doesn't have any water in it either, so it's super concentrated.
Oh, so it probably lasts a really long time.
This lasts a year,
Amazing.
At least. There's
That's
no
good value.
Yeah, there's no water. It's all just really concentrated ingredients, so you only need to use very, very little. So that's why it lasts for so long.
And it's great that it's glass. So it's
and the label peels off.
Aloe. I don't know that. I've heard of Palmarosa before.
Yeah, Palmarosa is really gentle. It's a beautiful herbal botanical, and all of the herbs are actually handpicked by the founders. They're both herbalists from California, so they started with their own garden.
Amazing.
That's how they started, and this was their very first product that they ever made.
I love that. Okay, amazing face wash there by Earth to Face.
Yeah, and the label peels off, so you can reuse the bottle for whatever.
Yeah. And you were saying earlier that you have a little bit oily skin, and this is good for that too, right?
It's just great for all skin types, including oily skin. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And did you find once you started investing in clean beauty that your skin got a little bit better, or did you find that you were having less breakouts?
I was definitely experiencing way less breakouts, and because the quality of the products that I was using were better, and also because our skin responds better to things that it recognizes naturally, and those are things that you find in nature. So using products that are plant-based, your body's going to respond better because it knows what it is. It doesn't have to figure out what is this and usually when it's trying to figure out what something is, it's what causes a reaction.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if everything is supposedly natural and clean, your face should not have any sort of reaction to it.
It shouldn't, although some people do say, and they've said to me that, I started using clean beauty and I broke out. That can happen sometimes.
I've heard that too, because it's just the impurities coming out.
Exactly.
Right?
It's your skin. It's purging of things that it was like toxins and other impurities that have just been trapped,
right,
that are now being able to come out.
I love this lip color that you're wearing today.
Thank you.
It's like a sort of burnt orange. Can you see that in the camera?
Yeah, it's like sort of like a coral.
It's beautiful.
Pink,
It looks really nice on
peachy.
your skin tone.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite lip colors. I have it here. It's this brand called Axiology. So
amazing.
They make lipsticks and lip crayons, and they're all cruelty-free, vegan.
Right.
There's only 10 ingredients in each of these,
wow,
too.
that's very rare, isn't it?
The packaging is made from recycled materials, including the actual tube, which is aluminum.
Oh, incredible. So this is recycled?
This is all recycled plastic, and this is recycled cardboard. This actually comes
amazing.
from recycled trash.
Amazing.
This right here. Yeah. So it's just
possible to buy things that are made from
crayon.
Recycled packaging.
Yeah.
I love that. So does that just wind up and go
Yep,
up
you
and
twist
down?
it. Yep.
It's such a beautiful shade.
It's so chic and sleek, and it's just easy. You can just toss it in your bag.
It looks like it's got a lot of product in there.
Oh yeah, I had barely made a dent in the one
Yeah.
that I'm wearing right now. And another thing I do with this is sometimes I'll put a little bit on my cheeks for blush, and like whatever's left over, I put it on my eyebrows. So it's kind of a multi-use product too, depending on the shade that you're using and what your mood is.
That's great. I love that about lip colors, because you can always sort of like double up if it's not too crazy a color.
Yeah.
That's number 2.
So that's number 2.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Axiology.
Axiology.
Check that out.
This brand is called Florence. This is their first oil. This is oil number 1, and it's a scalp and hair mask. So basically, you just put a few drops on your scalp and you massage it. And I like to do it about once a week. And what this does is it helps to stimulate growth. It helps to promote thicker hair, more healthy hair. It creates a really beautiful environment for your scalp so that your hair can actually grow and thrive.
Do you think that's the main reason why people's hair starts getting thin? Is it the scalp more so than anything else?
The scalp, yeah. The scalp is absolutely the first place where you should concentrate when you're wanting to grow your hair, because if your scalp is not healthy, your hair is going to suffer. Okay. Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, healthy
Ladies
scalp.
and gentlemen.
It's skin.
It is.
You know, so it's like, imagine if you didn't take good care of your skin, what's going to happen? You're probably going to get lots of breakouts. You're probably going to get wrinkles and all kinds of things.
We're always washing our hair, and we're washing our hair probably way too often.
Yeah. I wash my hair once a week.
I'm probably using like shampoos that have a lot of crap in them too, which is not good for hair growth.
Shampoos that have a lot of like lather and suds, that there's a chemical that makes that happen, and it's very stripping and drying for your hair.
So this can almost save you.
Yeah, I mean, the founder who created this this oil blend, it took her about 5 years to perfect it. She created this because she was suffering from alopecia. She had a huge bald spot in the back of her head.
Wow.
And none of the prescription medicines that she was using was working, and so she took matters into her own hands, literally, and did a ton of research, looked for natural botanicals and cold press organic oils, and came up with this blend, and her hair fully grew back within a year.
How incredible. I love it when people take their own health into their own hands. And
it's amazing. I'm never going to be without that oil. It's made my hair grow like crazy fast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. We all need that.
And it smells really good.
And how do you pronounce it? Oil?
Yeah, it's oil.
Okay.
It's oil. Number
OYL.
OYL.
It's such a pretty bottle.
It is really pretty. It's very sleek. Yeah.
Show that to the folks.
It smells like it's very invigorating. It's like a sort of a minty.
I love
lavender.
Mint
it's like
products.
You smell mint and lavender. And the first time I used it, I was like, oh, I can't use this. It's way too strong because I put too much. That's why a little goes a long way with that.
Okay.
So the fourth product is a vitamin C serum by a brand
for
the skin.
Okay.
It's a brand called Bella Skin Beauty. And this is by a mother-daughter founder duo out of California. And the vitamin C is really special because most vitamin C serums that you find, the vitamin C is derived from lemons, the ascorbic acid, but theirs is actually from wild-crafted berries. So it's about 10 times stronger than any other type of vitamin C, and it's shelf-stable. So it's not gonna go bad after two weeks or
is that
anything
what would
like
happen
that.
With the lemon?
It could, like if it can get exposed to like air and light, it can have like a negative reaction.
I've heard a lot about the benefits of vitamin C serums and anything with a vitamin C in it. do you want to share with us some of your knowledge behind the
Yeah,
vitamin
I mean,
C?
vitamin C is a natural antioxidant.
Right.
It's really great for brightening the skin. So if you suffer from dull skin or hyperpigmentation, it could really help lighten up dark marks and just give your skin an overall like more fresh, healthy,
I didn't know
bright.
it helped with lightening.
Oh yeah,
pigmentation.
you could even use this as like a spot treatment. So if you had a pimple, for example, and it left behind a scar, you can just put like a little bit on that, just massage it in, and it starts to fade pretty quickly.
It's beautiful packaging again.
Beautiful packaging, beautiful glass, amber packaging. And
gluten-free, non-toxic, vegan.
Yep. Yeah, it's
So
organic,
I had a
vegan,
conversation last
non-toxic.
night. I noticed it said organic, so I was just going to talk to you about that. So apparently, that's sort of two separate things, organic versus clean beauty, because organic can mean that it's just not being farmed with pesticides,
right?
But it doesn't actually mean that it's without certain ingredients that aren't good for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different terms and buzzwords that kind of go around like natural. Natural doesn't mean clean either, because there's a lot of things that are naturally occurring in nature, like arsenic is natural, but you don't want to put that on your skin. Poison ivy is natural. You don't want to put that on your skin. Lead is one of those things that it's very common in a lot of traditional lipsticks. And lead is natural, but it is toxic for human consumption. So,
well, we've read a lot about that if you study anything to do with like art history or history, because they used to use lead in everything in the Elizabethan times, and all their makeup and the white faces that they used to do. We used to eat away at their skin.
I know.
It's not good. So
it's
basically, clean beauty is the label that we need to really just watch.
Yeah, clean and green. Those would be the two the two safest terms, right? Green really touches more further than clean does, because green also speaks to the sustainability and also the packaging.
Right, so that's crucial too.
Right, yeah. So the way things are packaged makes a big difference in the product that you're using. So like if you see a bottle of oil, for example, and it's packaged in plastic, that could actually be really dangerous for you, because plastic can actually seep into oil-based products.
Right.
And then that can get into your system, which we want to avoid.
Yeah, for sure. Gosh.
Yeah.
So much to have to worry about.
I know.
What have you got for number 5?
So the last one is a face mask by Palermo Body. This is the Detox facial mask.
Okay.
There's sea clay, activated charcoal, there's spirulina, and it's a powder, which is really fun because you can actually customize it a bit. You could just mix a little bit of the powder, like a teaspoon of the powder, with some water and create a paste and apply it.
Amazing.
Or you can customize it based on whatever you feel your skin is needing. So if you feel like you need some extra hydration, you can mix it with a little bit of honey. If you feel like your skin needs some brightening, mix it with some lemon juice.
Right.
You know, because lemon has vitamin C in it.
Yeah.
If you want to do like a little bit of like a mild exfoliation, mix a little bit of Greek yogurt in it, because the lactic acid in Greek yogurt is a natural exfoliant. Or you can do a combination of any of them. You can really just kind of do your own like DIY face mask, and this is just your base.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you just have that to sort of start things off, and then
it's really nice. And you don't need a lot. You use about a teaspoon.
I was going to say it probably lasts longer too.
It does. There's just a powder, so this doesn't really expire technically.
Right.
Things become a little bit, have a shorter shelf life when you start introducing things like water, because water can create an environment where bacteria can grow. That's why a lot of the clean brands actually don't use a lot of water for that reason, because they don't want to have to introduce preservatives into the product.
The more water you have, the more preservatives you need.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you for those 5 products. We'll post those on the blog.
Yes.
So you've been invested in what we call clean green beauty for like 8 years now. And what have you seen to be some of the problems that you've had to watch out for, or that look out for in the products that you're bringing into your beautiful website?
A lot, actually. So part of my mission is really to set the highest standards of what clean beauty actually is. There's a lot of mixed messaging out there, and I think that's part of the problem.
Right.
There hasn't been one standard definition that's been defined and established across the industry as a whole. And so
it's still quite new, so it's probably redefining itself as
it is.
goes.
It's constantly, and everyone has their own definition of it.
Right.
Every retailer, every brand has their own definition of it. And some of them are strict and some of them aren't. I feel like I'm the strictest.
Right.
That's my goal, is to be the strictest, and I do that.
People know when they go on your website, they can really rely that you've put in, the due diligence and everything on there.
I do.
And that's really crucial, because I think a lot of people don't have the time to put or to invest in really looking into all these things.
Yeah, no, they don't, and it's overwhelming because there's so many products on the market today.
There's a lot of products.
There's so much. I mean, I get sent products all the time, and I can spot whether or not something is clean pretty quickly by just turning over and looking at the ingredients label.
And what things do you look out for when you look at the ingredients label that you're definite no-nos about, like the things that stand out the most to you?
Fragrance, perfume,
any kind of fragrance. Even if it's natural, it says it's like
if it's a naturally derived plant-based fragrance, like say if it's from essential oil blends,
right,
that's different. But when it doesn't specify that and it just says perfume or fragrance,
right,
that's a big red flag for me.
Okay.
And some people do have allergies to essential oils, so that is something that I'm very mindful of. So I don't think that having a fragrance product is necessary. Like I don't care if the product it could smell like dog poop, but if it works,
if it's the best,
if it's super clean, I don't mind, because it's not.
It's funny though, because a friend of mine brought out a cream that I really like, LK Skincare, and it doesn't have a great smell. So I've been sending it to people to try. And even though it's really fantastic on the skin, it's just got 12 ingredients in it from different places around the world. And it is plumping and moisturizing, but it doesn't smell good. And I've asked people afterwards, do you like the cream? How do your skin feel? Like, well, I didn't like the smell.
I know. People really do get hung up on the way something smells. I mean, you go to stores, and before a person even tries a product on their skin, they smell it first.
Right.
That's like natural human behavior.
It is, because I do that a lot when I'm
testing. We all do that. Yeah.
But I think the key thing is that it's the most natural it can be.
Absolutely. So avoiding products that have any added synthetic fragrances in it is the first start. Then there's also certain preservatives that are not good, that may have once been okay in this industry, like phenoxethanol was.
That sounds dreadful.
Yeah.
Phenoxethanol.
Yeah,
I definitely don't want to put that on my skin. Is that like a derivative of alcohol?
No, it's a synthetic lab-made ingredient, but it was safe for a long time, or it was considered safe. There weren't any. No one had ever reported having any sort of allergic reactions or any sort of health issues related to it. But in recent, actually in the past year or two, there have been some recent reports that have come out where this ingredient has been linked directly to delayed fertility in women, as well as neurotoxicity in children.
That's dreadful.
It is, yeah. And there's some retailers that carry brands in their stores that are considered clean,
but still have
that
this
still
in it
have
as a
this
preservative.
in it.
So, I mean, how do they get approved to use these chemicals in beauty products anyway? Like, who gives companies approval, and how do they end up in the products that we're using?
It's a very good question. No one.
No one.
No.
So
there's no regulatory
really
agency.
Know what they're putting on their face. It's not approved by, say, the FDA.
No, the FDA
There's no
only
standardized sort of legislation out there.
No, there isn't yet. There's no cosmetic, personal care, beauty equivalent to the FDA. So. The testing really is happening on us.
Wow.
We are basically human guinea pigs.
So when it comes to deodorant, shampoo, body lotion, perfumes, anything that we put on our face, nothing is actually legislated. There's no standard in the industry.
Absolutely not. No.
So that's why people can get sick then.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's dreadful.
You know,
okay, we're going to have to change that. We really are.
I know. Well, there's a lot of very passionate watchdogs in this who, some of them are private citizens, some of them are people who work in the cosmetics industry, who have written to their Congress people, and they've written to they've started petitions trying to get some sort of legislation passed where there should be a standard of
something
what that happens before things end up on our shelves, the way that they do in the EU and even in Canada. You know,
they have it in Europe and Canada, but they don't have it in the US.
They don't have it here. There's about 1,300 ingredients that are banned in the EU, and only 12 in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,300.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's a lot of the products. A lot of companies don't even disclose what their ingredients are because it's not required.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh, I thought that was required on the box.
It's not required for them to disclose proprietary information. So, for example, fragrance isn't just one ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
It can be anywhere from 10 to hundreds of different ingredients that make up this word fragrance.
Mm-hmm.
And so companies are not required to disclose what all of those ingredients are.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have you come back on Beauty Fives and give us some more insight to all this stuff.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, you definitely know your stuff, and I think it's invaluable to all our customers, people out there, to know all these terrible ingredients that we shouldn't be using.
Yeah.
And more importantly, go to Pretty Well Beauty
Yes.
and make sure you buy products from this lovely lady, because she definitely is going to make sure that everything you buy from her is 100% clean.
Not only is it 100% clean and safe, they actually work. So
Right.
that's also a requirement. You
Do
can
you
have
use them for a while before you
I
bring
do.
them on the website?
I do. I use the products myself, or I'll give them to an assistant or a friend to try. And I like to give a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks to try each product to make sure I'm seeing the results that it's claiming to deliver. And if it doesn't, it's not a fit, because I don't want anyone to spend money on something that doesn't actually work.
Right.
There's a lot of products out there and a lot of brands out there that use really beautiful ingredients and they feel nice on the skin, but that's it. Like, there's nothing really else that it does beyond that. So I just want to make sure that whatever I put out there is effective.
Good for
And
you.
what works for one person may not work for another person.
Well, I
so
guess
it's
there is
not,
that.
it's not a perfect science, but at least I know that the efficacy has been proven on at least one person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you found yourself, you feel healthier, your skin's better since you've invested
for sure.
just using clean beauty on yourself.
Yeah, I've become very conscious of what I put on my skin as a result. And, you know, my routine is quite simple. I don't use like 1,000 different products at one time, even though I do have a ton. Like, my bathroom is filled with products, but I kind of stick to a routine for the most part.
Something simple and easy.
Something simple and easy. And so, and I use like facial oils as something that's really helped me balance out my skin, because as I mentioned before, I have very oily skin.
Right.
And oil balances oil.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might not understand that concept, but if one has oily skin and you just strip it of all the oils, then it just creates more oil. Is that right?
Yeah, when you're stripping your skin of oil, your oil production is going to go into overdrive. It's because it's going to think your face is dry and that it needs more moisture, so it's going to produce more.
Right.
So yeah, not like, no one should ever strip their skin. Never run your face directly under the water in the shower either, because that disrupts your acid mantle too.
Wow.
It feels great, but it's not good for your skin.
Right.
Always just splash. With warm water.
Okay. I do that actually,
Yeah.
because it's quite, it's not on my face, so that's what that's
You've
how
got
I
great
do.
skin.
Thank you. Well, I love the fact also that you sell tinctures and you have a little wellness part to the website.
Yeah,
which
there's
I
a
think is
wellness
very
section
important.
on the website. I believe that beauty is an inside job. I feel like you should have a 360 approach to it. So you should also pay attention to what you're putting in just as much as you put on.
Right.
Because you can use all the most gorgeous products in the world on your skin, but if you're not taking care of what's going on the inside, it's kind of a moot point. So,
well, that's why, I mean, I really invest a lot of time in what I eat and drinking water, and I think all these
staying
things,
active, sweating every day if you can.
for sure, exercising and sauna or a steam room, and then, you know, really, you know, not drinking too much alcohol,
right?
That's really
or coffee. Caffeine is very dehydrating.
It is.
Getting enough sleep.
You know, there's tinctures out there, there's vitamins out there, there's probiotics, there's all these things that help our body function well, and it's just good to sort of bring all that into everything.
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
All live healthier lives.
Well, that's the goal, at least.
Well, thank you so much for bringing all this beautiful information to us today, and
Thank
I can't
you.
wait for everyone to look at the products that you have and you know, maybe try some of them out, and perhaps we'll be able to negotiate a little discount for
definitely. We'll give a discount to all the Beauty 5 watchers.
Yay!
For
and
sure.
We'll definitely bring Jazmin back because we want to know more information about the clean beauty industry, and maybe we can even try to bring some legislation to the
would be nice.
Thing. Let's see if
that's a whole other job
for the next few years.
I'll sign all the petitions.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jazmin.